Hey everyone. So, it's hard fighting the fight for freedom and justice. So it seems that the Judson Independent School District has decided to retaliate, harass, and assassinate the character of my son Jonah. The employees at Judson ISD will take drastic measures to ensure that my son's character is assassinated. So I'm going to start with a couple things. One is, I'm going to start off and show you guys an email from someone claiming to be Officer Fleming. James Fleming. His email address is usafsf11@yahoo.com. Well, this was sent on February 15th. Good morning, sir. Like I posted on YouTube, I'd love to meet and have some dialogue to better understand the situation. Not on behalf of Judson ISD, but on behalf of my character and my name that's being slinged through the mud. I will bring a camera. You don't know how to spell bring. I will being a camera and a person who is an advocate for civil rights, who is a dear friend of mine and knows my true character. I'm open to any time, any daytime. I'm open to a daytime and public place. Trust me, Mr. Ferguson, when I say you have me wrong. So I feel as a man, first you must defend your name, and I am prepared to do so. Anytime I'll meet. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of perceive that as a threat. Seeing as how he's trying to reach out to a victim that he unlawfully searched. So, he's trying to intimidate and harass by sending these type of emails. Next, I'm going to show you guys some comments that he posted on a YouTube video. He goes under the name of Diamond Flamingo on YouTube. It says, bring Jonah. I'll bring my son. Let's have some dialogue in this country. I'll answer anything you want to ask. So a minute later, he posts again. Okay, again, this is Fleming. I conducted the pat down. I instructed your son twice that I would sit down and talk with you. I've emailed you with a time to discuss this matter. Also to address you questions directly. You can video the discussion. I don't care. You're misinformed. Please email me back. That way I can help you better understand this incident. I'm doing this because I want to have your callers stop calling the school. 1. Your viewers are telling the ladies up front that they should kill themselves. 2. They are tying up the phone lines for possible emergencies that take place. I'm available at the time I emailed you. Okay, let me just say something about this real quick to all my viewers and subscribers. I would ask that when you call, try to be polite and professional. There's no need to be vulgar or have that type of language. And if you decide to call, then let's try to be professional about it. The thing I do want to say about this email is that I'm not responsible for what other people say. I can't be held responsible for what other people call and say. But I would ask that my subscribers and viewers, when you do call, try to be polite and professional. I would ask that of you. Now here's another set of comments. He's replying to Southern Indiana Freedom. He's saying now he's in the mode of trying to assassinate my character and Jonah's character. Okay? Now he's in a different mode. The dad's not telling you everything. The kid's known by the kids as a drug dealer. He actually said that on YouTube. that my son is known as a drug dealer. His son was also found in possession of live ammunition on campus last year. That was my reasonable suspicion to pat him down. There was nothing unlawful about what we did. Okay. Live ammunition. This right here is a souvenir that Jonah got from a souvenir shop. It was in a case that was able to be unopened. But as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see this, Jonah had been carrying this in his backpack for most of the school year. The school pried it open when they found it. I want to show you guys something here. I don't know if you guys can see that tip of that bullet. You see that hole right there in the center? That tells you that this bullet's already been fired. This round has already been fired. There's nothing in here. It's light as a feather. Look at the size of this round. Look at this. Do you not realize that it would take a gun bigger than Jonah to fire a round this big? This is not live ammunition. This is a souvenir that Jonah got from a souvenir shop and carried it around his backpack for most of the year. And then when they found this last year during an unlawful search, they said that he had ammunition. Okay, true. Maybe Jonah shouldn't have been carrying this at school. But anybody that knows anything about guns and weapons knows that this is harmless. I can see how it could raise some concerns, but it really is harmless. So this is what he's talking about. Okay. So he's on a mission now to try to assassinate my character and Jonah's character. The other thing about that is he's putting Jonah's life in danger by saying that he's a drug dealer and that he carries live ammunition with him. This officer cannot comprehend what he's doing to a family right now. My son is in fear of his life because Officer Fleming has put out there on social media that my son is a drug dealer. I want to say one more thing about his comment here when he said that my son having a live ammunition last year. He wasn't even the campus police officer last year. He had no knowledge of the incident last year. So he can't use that as reasonable, articulable suspicion for what he did. He had no knowledge, no prior knowledge of it. Zero. He goes on to say that he did nothing that I wouldn't expect another officer to do to my son to keep the campus safe. He says, it's my job to protect the students considering what just happened a few days ago. He's referring to the school shooting in Florida. Well, this incident happened before that school shooting. So you're not making any sense. That has no bearing. The school shooting in Florida has no bearing on what you did. He goes on to say that I'm lying to everyone and that I don't understand the Texas Education Code and Family Code. He said, look up in loco parentis. Okay. Officer Fleming is a licensed, commissioned peace officer in the state of Texas. He has a higher standard as a law enforcement officer for searching anyone, a citizen. The Texas Education Code does not cover him in this situation. He's a law enforcement officer and he has to abide by the law. The next thing I want to bring up is in 2011, the United States Supreme Court decided in the case of J.D.B. versus North Carolina that a minor taken into custody by police at a school must be given the Miranda warnings of right to be silent during interrogation. Almost all enlightened states in the United States, by high court decision or statute, require that when a minor is in police custody, as Jonah clearly was, that the minor cannot be questioned without the presence of a parent, or if not available, by an adult that has a close relationship to the minor. The school police and administration clearly had him in custody and violated his rights as set forth in that decision. Let's take a look at an overview of the case. Here are the facts of the case. A North Carolina boy identified as JDB was 13 years old and special education student in 2005 when the police showed up at his school to question him about a string of neighborhood burglaries. The police had learned that the boy was in possession of a digital camera that had been reported stolen. The boy was escorted to a school conference room where he was interrogated in the presence of school officials. JDB's parents were not contacted, and he was not given any warnings about his rights under the 1966 decision in Miranda versus Arizona, such as the right to remain silent or to have access to a lawyer. JDB confessed to the crimes, but later sought to have his confession suppressed on the basis that he was never read his Miranda rights. He argued that because he was effectively in police custody when he incriminated himself, he was entitled to Miranda protections. In December 2009, the North Carolina Supreme Court held that it could not consider the boy's age or special education status in determining whether he was in custody. And because he was not in custody, he was not entitled to Miranda warnings. So here's the question. Should the courts consider the age of a juvenile suspect in deciding whether he or she is in custody for Miranda purposes? In conclusion, the answer was yes. A divided Supreme Court reversed the lower court in an opinion by Justice Sonia Sotomayor. The Supreme Court sent the case back to the state court to determine whether the youth was in custody when he was interrogated. It is beyond dispute that children will often feel bound to submit to police questioning when an adult in the same circumstances would feel free to leave. Seeing no reason for police officers or courts to blind themselves to the common sense reality, we hold that a child's age properly informs the Miranda custody analysis. Sotomayor wrote for the majority. Justice Samuel Alito filed that dissenting opinion, joined by Chief Justice John Roberts and Associate Justices Antonin Scalia and Clarence Thomas. The court's decision in this case may seem on first consideration to be modest and sensible, but in the truth it is neither. Alito writes, "It is fundamentally inconsistent with one of the main justifications for the Miranda rule, the perceived need for a clear rule that can be easily applied in all cases, and today's holding is not needed to protect the constitutional rights of minors who are questioned by the police." So there you have it. Supreme Court case ruled in 2011. So I'm going to go on and show you guys something, since Officer Fleming has decided to start attacking my son's character and labeling him as a drug dealer and some type of terrorist by bringing live ammunition to school. We're going to start off with Jonah's disciplinary record at the school. Here you have it. This is a website called Parent Center, where you can check your child's grades, attendance, books he's checked out, his health, his meals, transportation, etc., etc. As you can see, as of today, there's no outstanding or past disciplinary actions for Jonah. So if he's this big campus drug dealer, where's the disciplinary actions showing that? Where's the proof? It's hearsay. It's character assassination is all it is. He's attacking my son on social media. Let's take a look at Jonah's grades. Here's his grades as of today. As you can see, in quarter 1 he had 1 B and the rest A's. In quarter 2, he had 3 B's and the rest A's. I'm sorry, 4 B's and the rest A's. So at the end of semester 1, he had an A, a B, a B, a B, an A, a B. So in quarter 3, his overall grade is an A, a B, a B, a B, 1 C, an A, and a B. Okay? Those are pretty good grades. I'm telling you, they're way better grades than I had when I was in school. So, Jonah's a model student. No disciplinary actions, like I said before. Am I lying? There's the proof right there. Officer Fleming says I'm lying. He's labeled my son as a drug dealer on campus. And pretty much a terrorist who brings live ammo to school. A souvenir. And that was a year ago. So he had no prior knowledge of that prior to what happened a week ago. So Officer Fleming, you've put your employer in a bad situation because you've labeled him as a drug dealer and some type of terrorist that carries live ammo. So from this moment forward, Officer Fleming and your employer can refer to me as plaintiff and my son Jonah as plaintiff, and you can consider yourselves as a defendants. You guys better lawyer up, because I'm coming and hell's coming with me. There's one last thing that I want to address, and that's to the admin staff at Kitty Hawk Middle School. And I think you know who I'm talking to. You should know who I'm talking to. If you don't want the attention that the school has been getting on a personal level, I don't want to take it there. I really don't. But the calls to try to intimidate and harass me by your spouse, that needs to stop immediately. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Don't make me put it on here. I really don't. Unless you want to be named as a defendant, along with Officer Fleming and the Judson ISD and numerous other people, you'll be sitting in deposition with everyone else. That's not what I want. I wanted a peaceful solution to this. I appreciate everybody's support. Once again, this shows what police will stoop to try to incriminate someone. You know, I try to give police the benefit of the doubt that they're not all bad police officers, but I'm really starting to wonder myself. You know, we do need police officers in our community, but we need good police officers. And my job is to expose the bad ones, along with all the other activists out there. Again, thank you everyone. Thank you for your support. SAXD Prez out.
This is how we do it.